Hey everybody, this is an SSFA playoff game among the between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. We got midway through, well, a little bit more than midway through the first quarter. Jacksonville took the ball, or I'm sorry, New Orleans took the ball down. I believe it was the opening possession. Yeah, it was. They went 10. They used 10 plays, went 70 yards. Ended at the Jacksonville 5, and on a third and 2, they decided, or they failed on a 3rd and 2, and on 4th and 2, they kicked the field goal. And then this is Jay's opening drive for Jacksonville, 2nd and 3 here. Gets stuffed there with the man in zone as Mike Daniels makes the play. Maybe 14 and 2, actually. Where are you? Oh, there's a pick, 2-minute zone. Look at me trying to make the action. Carson Palmer was looking for Patrick DeMarco on a flare left. And with 2-minute zone, the ball is picked off as Scott flooded the flats. So that means he takes over, leading 3-0, and he has the ball on his own 38. But like I was saying, in the regular season, New Orleans went 11-5, and Jacksonville 10-6. So two close teams. Let's see if they played during the season. I don't want to miss another big play. Hold on. Off tackle left to Spencer Ware. And I think I may be locked up. Let me fire it back up again. Okay, so Jacksonville against New Orleans during the regular season. Did they play? It looks like the answer to that one is no. Oh, no, they did. Jacksonville losing 16-3 to the Saints. Okay, folks, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Jacksonville has the ball back. Let's look at the ball position, see what happened. So it looks like it was a fumble. That play that I thought locked up was that off tackle right to Spencer Ware. The drive only went one play, and he fumbled it right back to the Jags. So 3rd and 10 now, as the Jags are looking to try to pick up a few more yards to get into field goal range. So Carson Palmer is Jay's quarterback, but I think he also uses Cody Kessler or somebody like that. Let's look at it real quick. No, just Palmer in this league. Slant to Antonio Gates. Single covered by a 5. Ooh, just misses the interception split. And what will he do here? Probably punt it deep. No, he's got Adam Vinatieri, so he's going for a field goal. I think Adam's like good 2 through 6 from this range. Out to the 37 or 38. No, he's 2 through 7 and 12, so even better, but he still missed it. And that gives New Orleans good field position. Let's see if they can get Spencer Ware going. And let me share this broadcast link out in case anybody wants to join me. I'm going to say present to everyone. And I'm going to say share, invite. Just happen to have a little bit of a free morning. So this is not like a semifinal game or anything, but I'll give it a try and give some play-by-play here. 2nd and 7. So let me see if I can put this up on the forum real quick. Two-yard gain there by Spencer Ware, bringing up 3rd and 5. Ware so far 6 for 24. There we go. 4 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And it's an 11-yard flat pass to Spencer Ware. Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback for the Saints. Tolbert's the blocking back. Their offensive line goes 5-5, 4-4-4. On the run blocking, 2 sevens on the left. And at center and right guard. And that brings up 2nd and 5. Just starting the second quarters, inside run to Ware guessed wrong. There is a man there, though, and that brings up the nose tackle reading. And Ndamukong Suh makes the stop, 3rd and 4. It does break contain. You can see Jay's team on defense. Look at those 6s. He's got Paul Posluszny, Gerald Freeman, Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, and Casey Hayward, as well as Earl Thomas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s on defense. Hitch to A.J. Green. There's a 6 there. Linebacker in zone is going to come up a yard short. So 4th and 3 from the 34. We just saw the situation for Jacksonville. He decided to try a long field goal, which gave New Orleans really good field position. Will New Orleans try, after he missed it, will New Orleans try the same, or will they decide to go for it? Or will they punt? They are going to go for it. They've got Justin Tucker, who is probably 2 through 7 from here, if I remember right. No, 2 through 8 and 12. My goodness. That is nice to have that kind of range. And it's up and good. That means it's 6-0 New Orleans as they make their long field goal after Jacksonville misses their long field goal. And the Jags take over on their own 29. Fozzie Whitaker in the backfield. Jay's got a couple of backs that are really good for a half. Look at Whitaker's numbers. He's got a good end run guess strong card and off tackle guess strong card. And then button hook to Whitaker, 2 men in the zone. There's a run call. And it's this time it's a 3 on the offensive card. The pick came on a 3 on the defensive card. So short gain there by Fozzie. Was able to get around those 2 inside linebackers in that area and take it for 15 yards. 1st and 10 out to the 44. Fly to Julian Edelman. It's being double covered by Devon Kennard, which is the outside linebacker, and is incomplete. Look at that. That would have been a long game without that double team. So Jay showing he's not afraid to go up top and try to find a connection to Julian Edelman. Deshaun Jackson's his other receiver. That's, he's more of a deep threat, but Scott covered both of them. A bomb to Jacksonville, or bomb to Jackson by Jacksonville. Defender extra plus 27. He's covered by a 5 and is incomplete as the white die roll is a 4. 3rd and 10. Out to the Jags 44. 11:42 to go in the second quarter. Jags go 3 wide. Antonio Gates in the backfield. As a blocking back, he didn't have much blocking going on, but he could split out and be the target for one of Carson Palmer's passes. It's a bomb to Jackson, single covered, nobody in the zone, covered by a 5. So Jay's going big or going home, and this time he's going to go back on defense as the pass is picked off and returned 12 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 New Orleans out to at their own 38. Now let's look at the ball possession chart, because Jay's ended a couple of his offensive drive so far: 9 plays, interception, 4 plays, missed field goal after recovering a fumble, and then 4 plays, interception. So Carson Palmer's off to a ragged start. The good news for Jay is that Scott's only been able to turn those into field goals. So it's only 6-0. If he can weather the storm and get the ball back, all he needs is one of those bombs to hit or to get a successful drive that ends in the end zone, and he'll be in the lead. So not all is lost, despite the rough start for the Jags. Spencer Ware loses a yard on that one as the nose tackle. The aforementioned Sue makes the play. Curl to A.J. Green turns into a dump off for 6 yards, and that is caught by Zach Ertz. Picks up 6 yards in the dump. Look at that, those position talents by Scott. A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Ertz, Devontae Adams, Spencer Ware. He's done a good job of drafting offensive talent, or that's maybe trading for him. I think he's not much of a trader, so I think he's pretty much picked all those up in the draft. 3rd and 5 slant to Zach Ertz. It's 4-minute zone, but it turns into another dump off. This time it's Devontae Adams who picks it up and moves it into Jags territory. They have 7s and 5s at pass blocking, except for the right tackle, who's a 4, Riley Reef. So that dump off chance was a second high linebacker, which wasn't coming. So 1st and 10 at the 48. Ware is great, but he has a little bit less carries than you want in a premium back. He's got 14 left now. Screen left to Ware, 2-minute zone, and that's incomplete. Nice plug there by Jay. And it was a white die 6 too. Scott says, good call, Jay. TY, thank you. So do you prefer the TY as your thank you, or THX as saying a way of saying thanks? Or do you actually spell the whole word, the entire word out? 2nd and 10. Run call, bomb to Devontae Adams. There's a man in zone, though. And remember, well, wait a minute. We're crashing again. I need to reboot my machine. Hold on, guys. We're going to go dark for a second. It looks like the pass had a man in zone, and it is picked off by Jacksonville. So hold on one second. Let me get the broadcast link into a Word document so I can resume the broadcast. Okay, we are rebooted, folks. And we are rejoining the game in progress, so hopefully we won't have any more of those lockups. I did have a lot of things open, and sometimes Strat can be a little bit of a memory hog. It looks like Jay was able to, hold on. There was a field goal there by New Orleans, but let's look at the ball possession. So Jay, New Orleans got the ball by interception. I thought we saw them on the screen get an interception. Maybe not. Let's check the. Is Jacksonville the home team? Why do they have the good pass defense? They both have good. I think I have a problem here. I'm going to close this real quick. I think I need to load the pre-file. Hold on, guys. That's part of the problem when you're just using the league file, I think. And obviously this is not a Super Bowl, so both teams should not have the same defensive card. Scott should have the good and Jay the average, and that's probably why it crashed, because it was showing me both teams as having good. And maybe Jay had a good one because I had a league file from earlier, and Jay probably had good from his previous round in the the play-in matchup, and so was causing issues. 31195. Usually there's no problem with not loading the pre as long as you have the league file loaded, but when Ed has to change those settings. So there we go. So now Jay is average. Of course, that 7 split on an average pass defense would not have been a pick, and New Orleans is average good. So now we're back in sync. So that's why it crashed, because on my screen it was showing a pick when really there wasn't a pick, based on what the real game was being played with. So curl to Julian Edelman. I'm sure you all find this fascinating, but either way, we finally got our ship in order. Correctly double teamed there, but complete for 11 yards as Carson Palmer threaded the needle. (9-0) New Orleans. If Jay comes down and gets some points here, though, he'll only be down a single score after all those turnovers. So now we can look at the drives correctly. Let's look at the ball possession point chart. Bomb to Deshaun Jackson being double covered again. Jay's not giving up on that. It's one of Carson Palmer's best columns, and Jay's got good pass blocking too, I believe. So Jay's day has gone interception, missed field goal, interception, and now he's driven inside New Orleans territories at the New Orleans 39. So Jay's pass blocking is a 4, 5, 5, 7, 7. So he's got those 2 7s, 2 5s, and a 4, just like Scott has, both 4s at the right tackle spot. Scott hasn't been shy about calling run against Fozzie. But it's another bomb to Deshaun Jackson. 0 men in zone. It's another dump off. This one goes for 8. That'll bring up 2nd and 2. So Jay's just pumping the ball downfield, hoping for a good result. Not worried about the picks, knowing that the big play is a good offset for that. Hold on 1 second. 2nd and 2. All right, 1st and 10 now. I had a slight ant situation outside as ants had got into the dog food bowl. Inside run to C.J. Anderson. Scott's got 2 men covering Ndamukong Suh at the nose tackle spot. So it'll be 2-minute in zone on the D card. The defense call is pass, so it'll be guessed wrong on C.J. Anderson's card. Don't tell me we're locked up again. Okay, just having a pregnant pause here, I guess. Maybe they're having their own ant issues at home. Oh, looks like there is a lockup, and this time it's not my problem. So let's exit out of this. Back again. So 1st and 10 at the New Orleans 28. 2 minutes left to go in the half. Saints leading 9-0. Whitaker in the game behind Palmer. 2 tight end set for Jay. Curl to Julian Edelman gets a run call. It's going to be guessed wrong, 3-minute zone. It could be a big play. Picks up 11 and another first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 17. Jay lets the clock run, knowing that they'll get the ball back first in the second half, so they're content to use it as much time as they can. And Scott, not knowing what's going to happen on this drive, decides to wait before he uses his timeouts. 3-4 showing blitz. Off tackle right to Whitaker. 1 man in zone. Guessed wrong on the halfback card, but it only picks up 2. Jay will let the clock run again, take it down to a minute. Scott might decide to use his timeout here to save some time for a counter drive, but he does not. So 1 minute to go, 2nd and 8. He's in a tough spot because you want to stop Jay, of course, but if you start using your own timeouts and then he gets inside the 10 and picks up a first down but not a touchdown, now you've left Jay with all 3 of his timeouts. But it looks like he's going to have all 3 anyway because he's just letting the clock run. So I don't know. If you'd call timeout on both those spots, it'd be 1:45 left, and you'd have a chance for a into the half drive. Slanted Dennis Pitter against the run call, 4-minute zone, guessed wrong, and it hits a blank on Carson's card, and that'll be 3rd and 8 with 52 seconds left. So if you use the timeout there, it'd be 3rd and 8 with like 1:37 left, or minute 40, yeah, 1:37. Short pattern negates, single cover by a 4. Free safety double teaming Allen Robinson. It's going to hit an 11, and there's that first down inside the 4. Now Jay will probably have to use the timeout. If you let the time run, it'll take it down inside to like 22 seconds left. There are no penalties in this league, so maybe that is an okay play. Try to pound it in. You have your timeouts then. He does let it run down to 22 seconds. 1st and goal at the 4. So he'll be able to run 22-15, 1 play, 15-8, 2 plays, 8-1, 1 play, and that will end the half if the Saints can pull off a goal line stand here. Either way, it's going to either be 9-3 or 9-7 likely at halftime. Inside run to C.J. Anderson, called correctly, 2-minute zone. C.J.'s pretty good, guessed right. Offensive right guard, +4 or +0, and that's a touchdown. 8 seconds to go. Here comes Adam Vinatieri for the extra point. He's good 2-12, one of the few that is. And it is 9-7. So again, Jay has to feel pretty good. He weathered some those turnovers and has come out only down 2 points, and he gets the ball. So here's the kick. He decides to go with a normal kickoff. And with 1 second to go, Scott will just take a knee, and we go to the third quarter. Let's take a look at some halftime stats here. Jacksonville has the advantage in first downs, but both are about the same yardage, 128 to 126. Time of possession, it's been pretty even on that as well. 2 picks by Carson Palmer, and you're only down by 2 points. That ain't too shabby. We know that Spencer Ware fumbled it. So the running games have struggled. Fozzie Whittaker, 8 carries for only 11 yards. Spencer Ware, 9 carries for 23. Not the kind of impact you want from that type of card. But you got to stick with it. The big plays have come through the air for New Orleans. Devontae Adams has a 35-yard catch, and Spencer Ware got a 20-yard catch. Tucker's hit that long field goal, and that's really the difference in the game. I mean, he's hit his other 2 field goals too. If Scott had been able to cash in one of those 3 drives, we'd be talking about a 13-7 score here. So here we go. I guess there's no big break. 46-yard return by Cody Latimer. And not only does Jacksonville get the ball first, but they're going to get the ball in great field position. So what could have been, the best case scenario for Scott would have been out the drive starting at the 15. Instead, you get the worst case scenario, which is the drive starting at the 48. Kenneth Dixon comes into the game. He's the other Scott's got 2 backs. He let Fozzie Whittaker in the first half, Kenneth Dixon in the second half, and then he has some other guys that he can use in the second half as well. Off tackle right to Dixon. That's guessed right again. So Scott's clamping down on those runs, which maybe explains why Jay's opening it up with those bombs, because a guessed wrong receiver reading there would have been juicy. That's Dixon's first carry of the game. And we'll see. We'll see if Palmer to Jackson or Palmer to Edelman comes in play. Now, Gates is not able to go deep in this set, slowing down a bit. He can be effective short off tackle right. This time he called pass. There is a man in the zone. And it gets the dreaded 5. That's no gain. So 3rd and 11. Both teams have been good today on 3rd down. Look at these percentages. 63% for Jacksonville on 3rd down, 57% for New Orleans. Some of that has to do with the dump off. Another pass to Gates, single covered, and it's a 13-yard pickup and another 3rd down conversion. You might start seeing Scott try to use the triple double team strategy on 3rd down, because Jay's killing him here. 1st and 10 at the Saints 40. Kenneth Dixon stays in there. Quick out right to Gates. Nobody's in the zone. Both outside linebackers are double teaming the receivers. Defender X +2 or +8. Now, if he had been double teaming Gates with the free safety there, that would have been a pick city, folks. But if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, or if he had just slid out the inside linebacker, that could have been effective too. 2nd and 8. Quick out right again to Gates. Short gain, and that's an 18-yard pickup. Guessed right would have been -1. So he went with the short yardage defense to try to plug the hole against Dixon. Dixon can't really run outside, though. He's more of a linebacker off tackle kind of runner. His guessed wrong end runs is okay, but nothing that you want to use as an important part of your offense. Off tackle right to Dixon, this time's guessed right, and that goes nowhere. That would have been a short gain. Guessed wrong, so good call there by Scott. But Jay's looks like he's weathered that early storm, held Scott to field goals, and after trailing 9-0, he's on the verge here of retaking the lead, either by touchdown or field goal. 2nd and 10, ball at the New Orleans 20. My bad, wrong running back, as he has Fozzie in there in that formation. It's a slant to Dennis Pitta. It's going to be guessed right, but there's only 3 men in zone. It's another defender extra, defender +2 or +8, and this time Bruce Irvin can't make the play against Whitaker. Now, I believe the rules say you can't run him. First half only, second half only as a runner. But I think you can have him in there catching passes, so nothing, no harm, no foul there. 3rd and 2 at the 12. Curl to Edelman, 3 men in zone, guessed wrong. This could be a good play for Jay. Scott's hoping it hits a blank, but it does not. The only blank on that receiver card is on 7. Guessed right or wrong, that would have been a touchdown. Unless there was 4 men in the zone. Scott's got the good pass defense. Jay's got the average. The kick's up and good, and just like that, from 9-0 down to 14-9 up. And now the pressure's back on Scott as he tries to get his offense going. $9:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now Scott's got Ty Montgomery to add to the mix. It's a second half only back. Kind of a tag team partner with Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware still has a good 13, 14 carries, I think, too. So he's still got 24 really good carries. Let's see how Jay handles that change in back. It's a fly to A.J. Green. Scott anticipating he might call run there. But Jay says, nah, I know what you're doing. I'm going to call pass, bring some heat. Ware's back in the game. Tannehill, 9-13 so far. For 105 yards, pretty good. That means he was 9-12 just a minute ago. It's a run call, crossing pattern to Devontae Adams, and Tannehill hits him for a 15-yard gain. Tannehill now up to 10-14 for 120. Out to the 40. Montgomery back in there. Will we see him carry the ball now? Both of Jay's inside linebackers are 6'5", 6 against the pass, 5 against the run. It's another bomb to Green. Turns into a dump off, and that goes to Mike Tolbert. Picks up his first catch of the day for 10 yards. The pass rush match was Ndamukong Suh against Mitch Morse. 53% chance of a sack, but Morse did just enough to hold him off. And we are at midfield. Inside run to Montgomery, guessed wrong, picks up 3 thanks to the blocking back roll, the blocking back rating of 6 of Mike Tolbert. 2nd and 7, 3rd quarter, 7:48 to go. Ty Montgomery stays in there. It's a quick end to Mike Tolbert. It's the interception split on the quarterback card, but Tannehill's +5 guessed wrong from 5 to 11. That would have been incomplete, guessed right, but that brings up a 3rd and 2, and Spencer Ware checks in. Very good guessed right runner. Scott likes to run to that left side, but Jay knows that. It's a screen pass right. Guessed wrong because the outside linebacker who had coverage responsibility on Ware was on the line of scrimmage. So that was this man here, T4, with his 12 pass rush, 12 asterisk, 12 and a 1 asterisk. So Scott had brought him in, Jay had brought him down to the line of scrimmage to put some pressure on, and that turned that into a guessed wrong reception. Into field goal range, inside run to Montgomery. 2 men in zone on that line buck, though, and at right guard +4/+0. Clinton Bowling can't make the block. A field goal is not going to put New Orleans back in front, so he'd love to get in the end zone. 2nd and 10. He's got Ertz. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got A.J. Green. They're all covered by 6s or 5s. Tolbert's covered by a 0 now. Inside run to Montgomery. Defensive nose tackle +7 or +33. And this time, Ndamukong Suh can't make the play. We saw him make several earlier. And that turns into a 29-yard touchdown by Ty Montgomery. And the Saints come marching into the end zone and are back in front, 16-14. 5:42 to go as Tucker nails the extra point. Back, now it's dueling touchdowns here. Back to the Jags as they now trail by 2. At one point, does Scott go for 2 on one of his touchdowns to try to extend that lead to 3. Slant to Dennis Pitta, 4-man zone guessed wrong. And it hits a blank on the receiver reading. Usually only get a hit on a 7 on a blocking back or a halfback. They'll have occasionally their reception reading there. Receivers always have, even max receivers have everything else filled in except for 7. So they're 30 for 36, guessed wrong. This particular one, he was 22, guessed wrong. 22-36. Slant to Antonio Gates. And that's incomplete as the defender, Morgan Burnett, matched the white die 5. That brings up 3rd and 10. Scott would love to get a stop here and get the ball right back, try to get that lead back to a 2-score lead that he had at 9-0. Crossing pattern to Deshaun, double covered by the outside linebacker, I believe, though. And it's on the quarterback's card, so that's still incomplete. If he wouldn't have been doubling, that still would have been, well, I missed it. That still would have been incomplete, I believe, though. Fair caught by the Saints returner, Mario Alford, and he takes over at his own 21. Still lots of carries for Ware. He's got 13 unfatigued left. Lots of carries for Ty Montgomery. He's probably got about 9 unfatigued left. 4:30 go in the 3rd quarter. Pitch out right to Ware. Defensive end +1 or +5, and Carlos Dunlap makes the play. He's only a 4, but that's all he needed to be. The white die was a 4. Ware having a pedestrian day, 10 runs for 24 yards, although he did have that impact reception on 3rd down. Crossing pattern to Devontae Adams. There's another max receiver, guessed wrong. That goes for 17 yards. Guessed right, that would have been incomplete. When you that's really the advantage in Strat Football. If you got a running back that's going to get that kind of respect, that you're going to get wrong calls, that'll open up the passing game. Tannehill's been sharp today, 14 of 18 for 165. 1st and 10 out to their own 39. Inside run to Montgomery, guessed right that time. And Jay and Scott are both sticking with the run calls. They're not just going pass like some of us have a tendency to do. 2nd and 9. 16-14, Saints in the lead. Pitch out right to Spencer Ware. 1 man there. Offensive onside in +4 +0. So now we get the Jags pushing the Saints into a 3rd and long, which is what you want to get a stop. We're still struggling, 11 for 24 for 2.2. Bomb to DeAndre Hopkins. He's covered by a 4, 0-man zone, but it's incomplete. Guessed right on his card, and he'll have to punt it. So Jay gets the ball back, 1:48 to go in the 3rd quarter with a chance to take the lead on a field goal. Fair caught at the 11, so I'll have a long way to go. A 16-14. There's a long gain on the Saints coverage card on punts. Something to keep an eye on. Fly to Julian Edelman. Single covered by a 4. There is a man in zone, though, and it's incomplete. As you can see, that's why Jay's going there, because that's, he's got a good runner that will get you some run calls occasionally. That 8-9 combo on Carson's card is worth the risk of an interception. You need those big plays to make it happen. 2nd and 10. Dixon in the backfield. He's got 10 unfatigued carries left. There's one of them. Off tackle right to Kenneth Dixon. Nobody's in the zone. 6-7 is short gains, and 8 is +6, so that'll bring up 3rd and 4. Break containment. Palmer's not bad on a flat pass either, I believe. Not fantastic, but he's pretty good. Let's take a look at his flat pass card. 3, 4, 6, and 7 would all be good results, guessed right. It's a bomb, though, against the run call. 0 man in zone, covered by 5. Remember that 8-9 on Carson's card. There's the 8 plus 52. So, if at first you don't succeed, keep on sucking until you do succeed. And that was a seed sucker as Palmer hits Djax for 52 yards to move the ball into Saints territory and into field goal range. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So here we go, 16-14. This is going to be a nice SSFA showcase. Quick slant to Gates, 2 men in the zone. We got another spectator joining us. That's on the D card, incomplete. Remember, both these guys have pretty good field goal kickers, Adam Vinatieri and Justin Tucker. Will that be the story of this game? Whose kicker can come through? Dixon in the game. And it's a quick slant to Pitta. There's a 6 linebacker there, single covered. Short gain. Oh, it was a run call, too. I missed that. Sorry. That was guessed wrong, not guessed right. So still, it's going to be a short gain, guessed wrong or right on Carson's card on a 3 roll. So now it's 1st and goal inside the 20 as the Saints look to make a stand. Dixon stays in there. Those short gains on 6-7 make him dangerous. And it's a run call, 1 man in zone. So this is not going to go very far, and it loses a yard. Dixon, 5 runs for 4 yards. He's done the most damage today as a decoy and a threat because those run calls when he's in the game have opened up the passing. 2nd and 11. Scott wants to hold him to a field goal here. Dixon's in there. Oh, Pitta and Edelman covered by 4s. Another run, this time 0 man in zone, but it's guessed right on if it's going to be on Pitta's card, but it goes on the D card for 11 yards and a 1st down. If he had run the other way, there was a man there, but instead he juked, went to the other side where there's a 0 run blocker and a 5 run blocker, and that opened things up for him. CJ Anderson checks in now. 1st and goal at the 8. Pitch out right to Anderson. Nobody's there. Guessed wrong. And this is offensive onside in +9 or +4, and that's a touchdown into the end zone for CJ Anderson as the old man, Antonio Gates, makes the key block, opening up the path for Anderson, and he finds his way into the end zone. So that is a 21-16 lead now as the extra point's good for the Jags. And they'll start at their own 25. Spencer Ware checks back into the game. Remember, he's got Ty Montgomery and Spencer Ware. Montgomery had the big run for a touchdown on the previous drive. His previous scoring drive, I should say. 1st and 10, blocking back set. Tolbert is 6-0. It's a bomb to Devontae Adams. Guessed right, incomplete. Ware yet to get off the ground. If that had been guessed wrong, if Ware had been having a little bit more of a good day, that would have been a 29-yard gain. But it was guessed right. Fly to A.J. Green, again guessed right. If that would have been Palmer's card, that's a long game, but not on Tannehill's card. 3rd and 10. Don't give up on the run game when you got a premier runner like Ware, though. But Scott has seen enough run calls from Jay that he wanted to get things going, and he does get things going here on a quick slant on a dump off to Zach Ertz, and that goes for 20 yards. So that's a big one where the dump off produces a first down on 3rd and long. 55% chance of a sack there, but Riley Reef held off Carlos Dunlap as the random roll was a 60. Scott's got to feel good about that conversion. Can he build on that momentum? Inside run to Montgomery, picks up 3. We haven't seen a run call in a while. Scott's sensing that and is going to try to pound the ball here maybe. He's got Ware back in there. Ware's got to hit on one of those runs at some point. And Jay goes to a 0-4-12 with a 1 asterisk, Willie Young. He'll bring him down and scooch over Jarrell Freeman to cover that outside flat spot. That means Tolbert's guessed wrong if it's a flat pass. But he stays with the run, pitch out left to Ware for 7 yards, and that's 1st and 10 now inside Jacksonville territory. 10-12 to go. Can he hit a short gain on Ware's card? That's what he needs. Ware stays in the game. All the run blocking is on this side. 6-5-5. 6 from the blocking back, 5 from the left tackle, 5 from the left guard. The guys on the other side, starting from the center, are all 4 run blockers. Adams and Green in the game. It's a quick into Tolbert. Single covered, but it's a sack, and it's a sack fumble. The ball is stripped from the hands of Ryan Tannehill by Willie Young, that old 0-4-12-1 asterisk, and Carlos Dunlap picks it up. So that was a 40% chance of a sack as Dunlap got boosted up. We saw him just miss the sack earlier. He got boosted up to a 14, and the random roll was a 16 on that 40% chance of a sack. So well done there by Jay, and Scott's got to be feeling it a bit. Square out left to Edelman. Guessed right, covered by a 4, 1 man in zone. He needs to stop here. Doesn't want to give up more points. But it's a linebacker X or short gain. It's a short gain for 13 yards. 9:18 to go in the game. Devon Kennard could not make the play against that white die 5. Dixon's back there. See how many carries he has left. It's got 7. Quick slant to Gates against the short yardage defense. This will be guessed wrong. Chance for some good yardage here. And instead it's an incomplete as it finds a blank on Gates' card. 2nd and 10. Well within, I say well within, but we're definitely within field goal range for Vinatieri. He's 2 through 7 and 12 out to the 37. So you might want to pick up a couple more yards to avoid the variable. That's maybe why you saw Scott go with short yardage, just expecting a Dixon run. Maybe you'll see a flat pass here. Nope, it's a run call, but a bomb to Jackson. Go big or go home. Guessed wrong, covered by 5, 0 minute zone. Humana. What do we got here? It's a long gain, 32-yard pickup down to the 5-yard line. Now, Scott's back is really against the wall as D-Jax has been dominating his matchup today with Desmond Trufant. First and goal at the 5, full house. Edelman's a max. Receiver. Inside run to Anderson. Guessed right 2-minute zone. Anderson's got a +8 though on 3, and it's into the end zone. And now it's a 2-score game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jay could be looking to pick up another SSFA championship. Of course, there's a long way to go. This will get the winner into the Final Four into the semifinals. This quarterfinal matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. 8 minutes to go in the game. Not time to panic for Scott. You will get the ball twice in this game. You just have to go down and score on both drives. Crossing pattern to Devontae Adams, and it's a sack. Jay's bringing the heat. This time it was Sue against Mitch Morse. And again, we saw early in the game he held him off. Maybe he's worn him down a little bit. 32% chance of a sack, and the random roll's 30. 2nd and 16. Now Scott's really going away from the run as he goes 3 wide with Ware back there. Ware can go deep as a receiver, covered by a 4. Hopkins covered by a 4. Both guys are pulled out, though. It's a quick out right to Zach Ertz, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 16. 7:30 to go in the game. This one's looking a bit like France versus Croatia. Yeah, it's a sack. Zach Ertz gets pulled down. Adamakan Sue against Mitch Morse. This time it was only a 16% chance, but it was a random one. And things are falling apart for the Saints. Here's the punt return. And we might be locked up, so let me exit and rejoin. Your pickup on 2nd and 9. That sets up a 3rd and 1, and it must stop really for Scott. Looks like I'm not the only one that crashed on that punt. Palmer, an effective 20 of 34 for 270. Hitch to Edelman, guess wrong. 1 man in zone. That's an 11-yard pickup, and that's a 1st down, and that will allow Jay to take the ball, take the clock down inside 5 minutes, probably inside 4 minutes before he has to give it up. And down 2 scores, it's not looking good here for Jacksonville. Let's look at the SSFA lifetime records. I think Jay's won 2 or 3 SSFA titles before. Offensive onside tackle, +2 or +5. Let's take a quick peek at it. And let's see, Jacksonville has 3 championships, and he's into the Final Four, along with Ed, who has 2. And who else is in the Final Four? Me, who has 1, but who's the other team? Who am I? I'm playing Ed. Jay is playing. Let me look. The standings will tell me that. 3rd and 6 as Troy Guion forces a 1-yard loss. Let's look at the standings. Off tackle right to C.J. Anderson. No men there, but it's guessed wrong. 8-yard pickup, and it's a white die 3, breaking contain, allowing Jay not only to be in field goal range solidly, but to pick up the 1st down and basically take this inside 2 minutes if he wants to. What happened to my standings? Here it is. So it'll be Minnesota is the other team. Minnesota is that coached by Tony? Yeah, Tony's in there. Nice. Tony doesn't have a championship there, but he's built that team up after several years of struggling, and now he's looking to maybe make it to his first championship game. He'll face Jay. So it'll be Jay against Tony and Ed against me as we head to the Final Four. 28-16 Jacksonville, 2:06 to go. Another run here. take it to the 2-minute warning, and a field goal will make it 31-16. Not impossible. It's only a 15-point lead, but you need 2 touchdowns within 2 minutes. You need a touchdown quick as possible and to recover the onside kick. So here we go. 2 minutes. Vinatieri comes in the game. The kick is up. It's 2 through 10 from this range, or 2 through 9, excuse me. 2 through 10 for Tucker here. And it's a roll 7. It's good. 31-16. And it's a touchback. So there you go. 1:52 to go. Tannehill needs some magic. A quick touchdown and recover the extra point. Like I said, very unlikely, as Jay and his Jacksonville Jaguars have put a throttle hold on this fourth quarter. Screen right to Ware, thinking he was going to pull that guy back to double cover, but he didn't. Only picks up 5. And you have to really conserve time. Letting it go down to 1:30, not great, but maybe Scott figures it's already over. I would have gone timeout there, but he decides to go hurry up. Did he even go hurry up? I'm not sure about the timing on that. Bomb to DeAndre Hopkins, 2-minute zone, must run for 6. Now you got to spike it here or use a timeout. You still have a chance. Not very good one, maybe a 5% chance, but let yourself. So he goes hurry up both times. The downs don't matter as much, so spiking the ball maybe is a better option. But again, this is all very unlikely no matter what. He needs Tannehill to hit his guest right on a bomb. And 9 is where his long gain is, but it was 9 on the D card that time. 2nd and 10, 1 minute to go. Time is running out on the New Orleans Saints and their fine season. When Scott took this team over, they were pretty much the dredge of the league and had only Peyton Manning. He made several trades to improve the squad, and you saw the draft picks he's made because you see them in his talent. Ertz, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Spencer Ware. So he's doing some good things. Curl to green. That'll bring up 4th and 10. And there you go. That's the frustration right there. A 9 on Tannehill's card on a long pass would have been a long gain. Instead, he goes for a short pass to try to pick up the first down and incomplete. Well, there's a short gain that gets it up to close to midfield. under 1 minute to go, 37 seconds left. Might as well use those timeouts. You can't take them home with you. He needs that deep pass and hit that 9 on Tannehill's card. Go to Ware because there's no way he's going to be doubled. Let's see what Ware's longest reception is. Pretty sure he's got a dot. Something juicy. Yeah, he's got a dot. So he can go all the way. Fly to A.J. Green. He's being double covered, but 2-minute zone anyway. 2nd and 10. Go deep to Ware. So bad luck for Ware today carrying the ball. And that can frustrate a coach when they're used to relying on a guy game after game. Square right to A.J. Green, picks up 10. Can he get out of bounds? Nope. Use a timeout. 22 seconds left. And now the chances are impossible, pretty much. I mean, he had to score on this play. And it's picked off, and that'll be the game. Turn out the lights, folks. The party's over. So congratulations to Jay. Nice job by Scott. Good season, like I said. And looking forward to the next round of the playoffs. There we go. $31-16 is your final. Jacksonville over New Orleans. Congrats to both coaches. Really good season for Scott and good job by Jay. Jay's got an unprecedented playoff record. 73% playoff. 73% wins in the playoffs coming into the year, and he's already picked up 2 wins already. So he'd be 13-4, and that's pretty darn near amazing. So well done, Jay. Sack by Dunlap was the big play. It was. That was a big, huge play. And the zone was empty, so it could have been like a no sack and a long gain. You just never know. But fun game. It'll be Jay against Tony in the semifinal, while Ed and I lock horns. All right, folks, I'm going to shut the broadcast down. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.